Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your ITFC live fan match reaction show. It's been Huddersfield Town 1, Ipswich Town 1, a point on the road. And as always, we welcome your input, your comments on this afternoon's proceedings. Get active in our live chat. There is a live link also in there to click, should you so wish to come on and have your say. But it's finished 1-1, and McSwordsman kicks us off with saying, a point away, missing key players. We should be happy to take that any day. Whatever your comments, whatever your thoughts, following the 1-1 draw, get them into the live comment box and come on the show if you so wish to. Hit the like button, subscribe to Talk in Town. I'm first of all joined by Miltram and Ben Adams, who's busy juggling the stresses of life, the feeding of our children, and watching Ipswich Town. And it was rather stressful this afternoon watching Town, wasn't it?
It was. It made him hungry. His daddy was pacing the floor and wasn't the best game today. I just think we looked a little bit tired, a little bit slow, lost a yard of pace. I think that the Evans experiment's now been done, and I think we've safely concluded that may have been the wrong decision today. But a point against a team that were very effective with us is still a good point for me.
Yeah, well, it's a good point, particularly when you're losing right up until sort of the 85th, 86th minute. Yeah, Lee Evans obviously selected ahead of Jack Taylor, had the armband as well today in replacement of Morsey, who's suspended. Max Fat says missed Morsey. Midfield didn't work today, this afternoon. You weren't impressed with Lee Evans, and I can take it.
I wasn't really, no. I think a lot of it, I'll text you throughout the game, I said we just weren't using the wings at all, which I found was very strange. We were really trying to put it through the middle. I didn't think he protected his back four. I didn't think his distribution was good. And fair enough, because he hasn't been playing against a really kind of physical, lumpy side like Huddersfield. I just wouldn't have had him in there really. But he wasn't awful, but he just wasn't great. And I just think we really, really missed our captain today. And you know, Morsey. I mean, I think we've run out of adjectives really. But in a game like today, you just see how good that player is. And boy, did we need him today. God, dearie me.
It did for large periods feel like it wasn't perhaps our day today. It was one of those days. It was we're going to miss out here, but we did have a number of chances, particularly George Hurst through the first half. How did you see Hurst's performance before the introduction of Freddie Ladapo?
I thought actually done really, really well. I think he looked full of energy. Really kept the high line, kept this man off in, held the ball up well. And Hurst is one of those players that will only get one or two chances a game. And he usually 60% of the time puts one away, 50% of the time. And that was his chance today. He had that one big chance. It didn't happen for him. But if that big chance goes in, we'd all be singing his praises. But I think for the job he done, he was very, very effective, actually. He just looked like he had a lot of energy to give. In fact, I would argue probably the most energetic person on the pitch today.
Yeah. Who's your man of the match for Town? It might have been difficult, 85, 86 minutes, but have you got one now?
Yeah, Halaki. Without Halaki, that could have been. He done four massive saves for me. That this could have been an embarrassment, particularly when your back four are not keeping a straight line and they just looked a little bit off today. But Halaki, again, I mean, anyone that's saying when Walton's fit, you should come back in. Watch that match back today and say that again and believe it, because I think he was absolutely, as he has been every single game, phenomenal.
Yeah, he was particularly phenomenal today. Rob Holmes says, Haladki, wow, brilliant again today. I thought he was really good. He was arguably my man of the match up until sort of 85, 86 minutes. Harp says Haladki, Hutchinson, man of the match for Harps.
I disagree with that. I think for me, I'm a little bit disappointed with Hutchinson's performance. He in the last 10 minutes, I think he was better. But I think at the moment, at the very beginning of his career, he's really a great impact sub. But I think for a really physical, gamesmanshipy, shitty ref game like today, pardon my language, Alice, I think it was a little bit lightweight and a little bit manipulated, and they've done a number on him. But in the last 10, 12 minutes, I think he actually came in, but I think he switched sides. Didn't he go to the right from the left?
He did. He moved from the left to the right.
Yeah. And it showed. So there you go. He is that sided player. And he just upped his game 50% when he went on the right side. So to be fair, it may be a question if he was on the wrong side today to make it all work. But yeah, not as great as, not as impactful as he has been. But that may be the way he's asked to play, to be fair.
Josh Russell's Taylor should have started for Josh. Now, obviously, everyone knows I'm driving the Taylor bandwagon. I was very disappointed he didn't start. I felt he I felt when Taylor came on, we had a little bit of energy in the midfield, a little bit of enthusiasm around that park.
Yeah,
We got
I
going
agree.
again.
I would probably be a little bit aggrieved, actually. You know, Evans comes in and captains a team from absolutely out of nowhere. In my opinion, drops the ball a little bit. I think he was the weakest player on the pitch today. And Taylor's thinking, hang on a minute, now I'm going to show you why I should have been on the pitch. I think he come and looked really good. And when you're scoring goals like the other night and actually, you know, getting minutes in and just getting better and better and better, he should have been on that pitch. And I think he knew it today.
He particularly played well on Tuesday. You're absolutely right. I'll let you go while you finish off the feeding. Ben, I thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Man. All the best.
Cheers,
Look after yourself. Rob says, cannot drop Hladky. McSauceman, I don't like to moan about the rest, but we really didn't seem to get men of the 50-50s or 90-10s, like the penalty. We'll come on to that in a minute with Bricktop. Chris Boyd, Hladky, the star of the show, but top of the league. Mike D. and Murray, when he went in on the right, was much better. And Rob Hutchinson only got in game when he went out to the right. So a lot of people agreeing with Ben's comments there in terms of going out to the right. The Fisherman, who is a big goalkeeping critic, says credit to Hladky, man of the match, key save at crucial point of the game. He called a draw today, did Mike. Lee Evans is no Morsey. Taylor should have come on earlier. Take a draw on to the next game. Get your comments coming in. We'll use as many as we can through the live show. We really feed off them here on the live platform. That's for the fans, by the fans. And we've got Bricktop joining us now. Bricktop, how are you, my man?
Bonjour, Trickle. How you doing?
I'm all right now. I wasn't okay for large periods of this afternoon, but I'm okay now. First of all, before I get into to player specifics, how are you feeling? How did you see this afternoon play out for you?
That's obviously, well, I was sort of probably like you and like Ben was getting ready to talk about, and our first away defeat. But yeah, you have to look at the thing that we did get the point. Again, unlike Ipswich Town teams of recent years, we never know when we're beaten. We push for it, yeah, but yeah, you got to. It was definitely a point game today. We were.
It certainly was, and I said at 85. I tweeted at 85 minutes, Coxie, that it wasn't our day. We're all out of blip. No. But you should never write this group of players off. And then 60 seconds later, they scored. This is a group that just doesn't know when it's not their day, when they're beaten, like midweek. It's a really strong desire in this group, isn't there?
Oh yeah, definitely. As I said, Ipswich Towns of many a year. That we would have lost that one. The game would have just petered out, and we've been then been a totally different conversation for us on here today. But they don't know when they're beaten. Yeah, they and after the equaliser, and if there was going to be a winner, there's going to be one winner. That'd been us.
Particularly after the equaliser, I would agree with that. Before that, obviously, we've mentioned Hladky already, but he made a couple of crucial saves to keep the score either 0-0 or 1-0. The penalty, Hutchinson, first half. For me, that's a bigger penalty you're going to not get all season long. There won't be a more clearer penalty for me. How did you see it?
Yeah, my first thing was that's a penalty. I was just waiting for the referee to stick his whistle in his gob and point to the spot, but it didn't. And a bit of afters there. I think they're telling him to get up. Then Burns went steaming in. He got a yellow card, and yeah, but that, for me, yes, that's a penalty. We should have had the penalty there.
How do you see the referee's performance today? Because I felt he was a few decisions didn't go our way, but equally didn't go the way of Huddersfield. For our equaliser, for example, they will feel aggrieved that they perhaps didn't have a foul from Massimo on their midfield player.
Yeah, but perhaps, things over the season even out. But yeah, I think that's what evened out the game really. Yeah, for us.
Yeah, Sorry, Coxie. There's a little bit of a lag on the line. I do apologise, but we'll try and work through it. Eric says resilience. Ipswich, they are really truly resilient. Who stood out for you in the Town shirt today? We've mentioned Evans not having a particularly great game. Hopefully the injury isn't anything serious. But who stood out for you today in the Town shirt?
I think, to be fair, we knew Morsey was out today, and I think whoever's going to come in it's very big boots to fill. I personally would like to see Taylor in there from the start. When I saw Evans, I thought because for me, I always think of last year or the year before, and his back passes sort of puts in trouble in League One, but he done. okay, but nothing to write home about. And yeah, Harps, I want to know what's happened to Broadhead today. I think Broadhead was a bigger miss for us today. Down the left-hand side, we had nothing. Leif Davis was having to go the whole of the length of the field there pretty much by himself, and it was totally fruitless. Everything had to come down. Fortunately, Hutchinson, despite what Ben said, I thought he had a good game. I think any game when you get, the opposition fans booing about you, you must be doing something right. And obviously they're booing about the penalty decision which went against us. So yeah, for me, yeah, Haladki was again done superb. Rightly so. We could have been 2 or 3-0 down there. I'm not too sure. I do get worried about when he keeps coming out of his goal. I don't know, perhaps that's me being a bit of a panicker there. But yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's natural as a fan because you're always heart in mouth moment.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to get used to it. There always will be that level of risk, but he does it so well and with such comfortableness on the ball. It really is almost like an outfield player playing in goal. But today, he certainly performed his worth in terms of shot stopping. He proved what he can do in that regards as well, which adds fuel to that Walton Haladki debate. It started to rage last week. It will rage as time goes on. But performances like today won't do him any harm, will it? Let's be brutally honest. That will really put him in good stead. Rob Holmes said, "We think we missed Broadhead today." I think I read somewhere before the game, slight thigh concern. Okay. So hopefully nothing too serious, and certainly hopefully nothing that maybe doesn't keep him out of Tuesday. Because if you look at the fixture list coming up, you've got Hull and Preston. Hull in 5th, Preston in 3rd. Still early days, of course. Preston getting beat today, but we're starting to get into the real Saturday Tuesdayness of it. And I would really love Broadhead available every game, but particularly against Hull and Preston, wouldn't you?
Definitely, yeah. Broadhead's a key performance for us, key performance. I remember you saying, I think a couple of games ago that when Hurst is in the side, Broadhead's sort of different player. I think probably it's vice versa as well. Yeah, Hurst. He done all right. You always have to look at things 2 ways. The work he does off the ball to hold things up, he does that well. I don't think there's anybody else who does better at our club. But yeah, 2 chances today. I think he should have had the 2 headers and one in the first set. Perhaps you could say, well, if you are a coach or a manager, you say to your player, if you can't get up with the play, you jump or try and put off. So perhaps he's put off. I think he should have done it. And the second half header, I think he should have had that one, but he didn't. And when the Dapo came on, he looks more potent than Hurst today. But as on the other side of things, yeah, Hurst does. He does you have to look at what he does off the ball.
Absolutely. Rob Holmes, Haladki, brilliant, acting as a sweeper. It's what McKenna wants. McSwordsman, Haladki woke up this morning and decided he wanted to be a midfielder. Curate, Haladki, he could probably do it, He's that comfortable with, on the ball. He could probably do it. David, terrible result and performance. Should be beating teams like this. What do you say to someone like David, who got a lot of love and respect for on the platform, great supporter of the football club and also the platform? What do you say to David this afternoon when he, with a comment such as terrible result performance should be beating these teams?
Well, the old adage there is it's a marathon, not a sprint. There's 46 games, and you're not going to win them all. So, it's as it was 1-0 down to the 85th minute. You've got to look at it as a 0.1. Maybe we should be beating the teams, but many more games to come yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, it moves you top of the table, which is still only 9 games in, but it's almost it's not almost. It is. If you can't win him, draw him, because at least you're walking away with a point. I'm not a fan that, or like some managers that like to set up for a point from minute 1, but certainly if you can't win it, draw it, because it's that constant picking up of points that over the season, as we saw last year, will lead hopefully to great things. Jamie says that Evans not good enough. I'd have started Taylor. Jamie, you're preaching to the choir about starting Taylor, my friend. I thought today was the day. I was so excited. I was getting the bandwagon ready for a parade, and I had to cancel it. All the subs came on and pushed us. Williams was excellent. There is a live poll in the chat. Haladki, Hutchinson, Massimo, or other for today's Talking Town ITFC fan match reaction man of the match. Get your vote in, or put your vote if it's other in terms of the name and why into the comments, and I'll count them all up. Harp, the Zappo could have had 2. He's a natural at being in the right place at the right time. Obviously, had a part in our goal as well. Before we come into the other substitutions, how did you see Freddie's contribution? Because I thought sometimes off the bench, it's a bit hit and miss with Big Fred, but today, bang on the money.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. He looked more potent than Hurst. Again, just paraphrase what I said. Hurst does what, but yeah, he did look more potent in front of goal, and he's better coming off her. And things aren't going right for Hurst. The Dapo comes on. He's better for that role. Yeah, he was on the money. Can't hear you.
I do apologise. I muted myself to have a cough and then forgot to unmute myself. I do apologise. And obviously, Brandon Williams was brought on at half-time for Harry Clark. I'll be honest, that substitution surprised me a little bit at the time. I didn't think, unless it was an injury or anything, Clark was having a particular bad game. I thought Huddersfield's tactics were spot on in pushing him back. But he brought Williams on, and I thought Williams really grew into the second half. He got the goal, obviously, but 5 minutes either side of that goal, he was a player really ascending. How did you see Williams' performance this afternoon, or 45 this afternoon?
Yeah, first of all, I don't think Clark done that badly. I think he was trying to get forward as much as he could there. But then, and yeah, I agree with it. It's sort of probably a bit of a surprise. Brandon Williams come on, but he came on, took his chance, and lovely header into the top of the net there.
Yeah, it was a lovely goal, and he's followed it in really well for a fullback. And as obviously time goes on, you hope he gets fitter and fitter, and you start to see the best of him. Norman, our flattest performance this season, Evans was poor. We really missed Morsey's drive and energy. Trevor, no easy games in the Championship apart from Wednesday. Mike D, it was a real grind. Moore's teams are always hard to play against. He also knows Town, having scouted us twice last year and watched us probably a lot to being in the same division as us. It was a decent point for me. Mr. Ipswich Town, Haladki saved our blushes. We're going to have to have off days. Can't understand some fans giving out about the result. Point gained. And Peter says, ho-hum. This is our off day. It still puts us top of the league. Kev, it's a mad league. We've been winning regularly. And only second and third we draw. And we go top for maybe 24 hours. It's a mad league. Mad start. Yeah, I mean, for the first 45, I didn't think anyone wanted to defend against Coxey. It was literally chuck the defence out of the window. You attack, we attack. You attack, we attack. I mean, this is all 46 games. I'll love it because it's value for money in terms of attacks.
Yeah, this is why we missed the Championship. That sums the Championship. Everyone can beat anybody on any week, and like you said, it was a bit of a basketball sort of feel to it. Like you said, one attack. Yeah,
absolutely.
Love it.
We've got Phil on the coach, so stay right there, Coxie. Don't go anywhere in case Phil's signal drops out. But Phil, welcome in. How are you feeling this afternoon?
Can you hear me?
Fire away.
I'm cutting in and out, aren't I?
No, you're good. You're good. Fire away.
Oh, all right, okay. So we should have had a Stonewall penalty in the first half after 35 minutes when Hutchinson went down. He was.
Oh no, he has dropped out. Never mind. Try again, Phil. If you can, he's on the coach. I mean, I do. Oh no, is he? He's still talking. Bless him in the green room. I can literally see the webcam. I wish I could show you guys the guys at home. It's going. It's stopping. Then it's moving. Then it's stopping. But every stop and movement his voice is still going. Bless him. Phil, try and come back in. If you can't, you can't. But appreciate it. If you can't come back in, Phil, and anybody else watching at home, we do want match reactions from you, the fans of Ipswich Town Football Club, to post on our social media channels. That's our YouTube Shorts, our TikTok, our Instagram, our Facebook, our Twitter, or X as it's now called. So get those sent in to martin@talkingtown.co.uk. And if you get them sent in, I'll get them up as soon as I possibly can. Curate, Luongo took charge in 60 minutes, got us ticking nicely. And George says, you take the point and move on. Is that a fair, accurate statement from George? You take the point and you move on to Tuesday.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well done, George. It's point of the day. Yeah.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to say before we go?
No, I think definitely Town fans need to look at this as, despite our phenomenal run since, we've come back up. You've got to look at it as, it's a 46 game season. We're not going to win them all. It was definitely a point game. And as George said, take a point and move on.
Absolutely. Nathan Pearson, one of our YouTube members. You can follow Nathan's great example by hitting the join button on YouTube or heading to our Kofi site, $4.99. Great value. Cancel at any point you like and support the platform that's for the fans, by the fans. Before I read Nathan's comment out, we'll go back to Phil. I'm like Jeff Stelling all of a sudden. And see what we've got. I hear there's been a goal at John Smith, but for who? Phil Blundell.
Has there, Gov?
Ratner Williams has scored in the 87th minute to equalise 1-1. It's been a smash and grab afternoon, mate. We've not played well all afternoon, but Hadaki, for me, again, was man of the match today. And he pulled off 2 or 3 superb saves, especially one towards the very end where it looked like Huddersfield were going to get their second. But once again, he put his lid on. Stopped it from going in, but I'm gonna say that was the poorest we've played this season. The ref wasn't much better. We should have had 2 penalties, at least 1 stone wall. I thought Hutchinson was lively throughout, and then when we made the changes later on in the second half, we looked a better team. We played better in the last 20 minutes. We did for most of the game, but today it was a bit of a sort of get out of jail free card that we played this afternoon because. Not many of those players played well. We didn't create the chances. We lacked the energy. We didn't move well off the ball. And I would say for most of the game, we looked fairly static, apart from the opening few minutes when Hurst had a good chance. He should have scored. And Huddersfield, they just basically frustrated our front line today. They pressed high, didn't really allow us to create many chances from midfield. We missed Morsey midfield today. It was a big miss. He started with Evans, which I thought probably surprised a lot of people, and not to have Brody in the 18 today was a big, bit of a head scratcher. We don't really know exactly what happened to him this afternoon. I think he's probably picked up an injury, maybe late yesterday, or maybe this morning he just wasn't fit enough. I don't know.
A slight thigh is what I think I read before the game, Phil. Obviously, you hope he's well enough for Tuesday. Who was your man of the match for us this afternoon? Because for large periods, as you say, we weren't good enough. It wasn't our best day, but they were resilient and they come through again.
Yeah, I'm going to say for me, Faz was man of the match for me today. Hutchinson was a second, bit of a distant second, but I think Faz saved us this afternoon. He was immense again today in goal, and it's going to be difficult to drop Faz. Obviously with his 2 home games coming up. Probably the toughest of the 2 might look like it's Hull, even though they lost today. I think it's going to be a big decision for McKenna because if Faz keeps putting in performances like that, it's going to be really hard to drop him, and it's going to be a real head scratcher for McKenna from now on. But certainly today we didn't deserve to win 3 points this afternoon. Let's just hope that for the Hull and Preston game we play better and score the goals that we're usually capable of doing. And I look forward to that.
Absolutely. Phil, safe trip home. Thanks for joining us. All the best. Lewis says, Evans been man to be a scapegoat. Hurst be more clinical. Take the point and move on. Nathan's comment, which I didn't read out before. Sorry, Nathan. Top of the league, draw away, win at home. Town not at their best. Huddersfield at their best. Haladki made some superb save to keep us in it. And we were skipperless. Away fans were epic. They were. It's a special word before we leave, Coxie, for the away fans, because they were loud this afternoon before the goal. While we were getting beat at 0-0, regards to the result, they were loud, weren't
they? They have been all season now. We've got something to cheer about now, and every game away now, as Sammy once said, they do love an away day.
Yes, and they are. You're right, but it sometimes it's difficult on the road to generate that much noise, particularly 1-0 down. But I've still felt at 1-0 down, they were vastly out singing the Huddersfield Town fans. I was so impressed with our away army this afternoon. They were just so good, Coxie.
Yeah, especially when the equaliser went in, they then raised the noise and in turn raised the team. And,
yeah, absolutely. 80 says bad ref, bad catering, bad weather, bad day at the office. Haladki saved the day. And Harps, Waternext plays at home to Fulham. And there we go. We are done for the match reaction. Follow the conversation across our social media. That's X, Talking Town ITFC, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. And of course, we are back live tomorrow, 1:30 for the flagship podcast of the week. Myself and Hard Truth, Richard Moss Cruncher, Matt Phillips, the media mogul, dissecting this 1-1 draw pulling it apart, looking at the league table, only 9 games in, but Town sitting top. Always good to see Town top of the table at any point of the season. But join the conversation across social media. That man there is Bricktop. This is Talking Town. Hit the like button, and we'll see you all tomorrow live again. Town is taking a point. Up a Town, boy.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down or when I am blue, I can't get enough. Oh, yes, love. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Oh, yes, love. Oh, yes, lover. I woke up all soaked in sweat, with chills running down my neck. I thought went crazy from just the thought of you. A long blonde hair